Welcome to Crime 411. I'm Melissa Marquet. Shanon Ryan has been arrested and charged with kidnapping in the case of the missing mom, Leila Cavett, whose 2-year-old son Camden had been found roaming around in a diaper by himself in an apartment complex in Miramar, Florida. Now, this case has taken a twist for the worst, and I'm going to fill you in, but this guy here, he posted an hour-long video on Facebook talking about he's the last person to see Laila and just basically just trashing her character and talking about what a horrible parent she is and that she has, she's been bouncing from shelter to shelter and she's homeless and she's on drugs and all this other stuff that he alleged is true about her, which has not been confirmed, by the way. But he goes on this whole tirade about how the mother of Camden drove to Florida to meet him because she had, well, it's interesting. First, he said she drove to Florida to meet him because he convinced her to sell him her truck. Now, he said that, but he also says in his video that she was coming down to Florida because she was going to work as an assistant for him because his other assistant was in the hospital. So he's told two conflicting stories right there already. First, he says she was driving down to Florida to work with him. Then he says she's driving to Florida to sell him her truck. So he's already told two different stories. And we know that a lot of the details that he has told in this video that I'm going to play clips from was not true. Because again, he has since been arrested in this case. And there are a lot of conflicting information between what he said in his video, what he told police, and what FBI and law enforcement has been able to find out so far about this case through video cameras and witnesses and things like that. But I'm going to go ahead. This guy's crazy, okay? He is a self-proclaimed witch who is some sort of a spiritual advisor or something like that. He's an ex-felon. He has 15 felonies. And clearly, when you watch this video, I mean, I can't say for certain, but he certainly looks like he's on some kind of drugs to me. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's an hour long, but I'm going to play little bits and pieces of it just so that you can get an idea of how crazy this guy is.
Greetings, family. It's a beautiful day outside, enjoying the day after Lion Gates 9, so I'm born, birth into existence. Today, I want to talk about Leila Cavett, or Cavett, who she is and what my connection is to her. You know, Leila's missing right now. And I just want to say this. Why is it the only connection that you made between me and Leila Cavett is the one that I posted? You know, I just seen some people show up on my post and say some real ignorant ass shit. Real ignorant ass shit. Yeah. Some of the same individuals that I've been helping for the last 5 or 6 years. Why is it you have a missing girl or a missing woman, and the last person that's seen her, which is me, who talked to the police, you ain't heard nothing about me? The police ain't flashed my name across the newspaper. They haven't put me on TV. They haven't put out a warrant for my arrest. But some of you motherfuckers want to show up on my post and say some of the most ignorant things. Watch yourself. Watch yourself. Because you end up making...
Nancy Grace, her team reached out to him because they wanted to ask him further questions, and he told them that if they wanted him to speak, that they were going to have to give him $500,000 and that they could quote him on that. So this guy is just as shady as the day is long. I'm going to go ahead here and continue on playing this video.
Yourself look even more foolish toward the end. We have a missing woman. And I gave the police everything that I know. Everything. But here it is. And this y'all first time hearing of this. Or hearing of my connection to it. Why did I post that? Because I posted the pictures. I put the material up. Because I wanted to draw attention to the fact of what is actually going on. You know, people have begun to say, he's guilty. I'm guilty. Why am I?
People have begun to say he's guilty if he just said that no one has put his name out there until he posted this video. Who's saying you're guilty? Nobody even apparently knew who you were, according to you, right? So what's that about?
And let me remind you, I put the information up there. You ain't heard shit about me. I posted it. He's guilty. Why? He has felonies. He did things in the past. Yeah, I did some burglary when I was younger, and I sold drugs when I was younger, and I went to prison too. See, that was the dirt that I grew up out of. That made me the God that I am today.
The God.
So now, individuals love to try to hold you to a past frequency. You mean I can't change? I can't be transformed? I can't be renewed? Oh yeah, you can do all those things. Yeah, but then the minute something goes wrong, then you go back and say, this is who the fuck he is. Look at what he used to do. He's a criminal, so he had to have something to do with it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Your vote of confidence. Because I'm a black man, right? And I'm a criminal. And I was the last one to see the girl, so automatically, I got something to do with it.
Now I'm gonna pause right here because we have found out since he posted this video, when he was arrested, they said that he had purchased carpet odor cover-up, whatever you call it, and duct tape and large garbage bags, that he had a shovel with a red substance on it that they were testing. So clearly we know a lot more since he posted this video, but when you know these things now and you watch this video on hindsight, what he says is very, very telling. It's almost like a confession, but not. It's really strange. I'm going to keep playing it.
Thank you, America. Prove my point. Never mind what I've been doing for the last 6 years of my life since I've been out of prison. Never mind the time, the energy, and the effort that I've dedicated to helping people, healing people. How many of y'all have I talked to personally, one-on-one, cried with you?
He's on something. Look at him.
Yeah. He's a criminal. Lock him up. He did it. Yeah, but now, you can't hold me to a past frequency. I am who I am standing in front of you. Here we are. And Leila Cavett is missing. Well, let me tell you about my connection to Leila Cavett. I say it was about a year ago. It was almost a year ago. It might be a little bit over a year. I'm living in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, me and my apprentice, Tiffany Sanders, and her son, Cadence. And we're staying in the 3-bedroom house. I'll say it's like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And there's a thunderstorm, tornado, something going on.
So I'm gonna pause right here. So he's saying about a year ago, or a little over a year ago, he was living in Alabama in a 2-3 bedroom house in the middle of a storm, like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And according to him, Laila knocked on his door with her baby boy, and that they were covered in dirt, and she had said that she had broken down with her car. And at this point he goes to say that he had taken her in and let her stay there for months, and the shelters were saying they knew who she was and they didn't want her there, and all this, that, and the other thing. I'm not going to play the whole thing because, like I said, it's an hour, but he goes on to tell a pretty detailed story about her and does everything he can to make her look as bad as possible.
The weather's real bad.
Let's go forward a little.
Take you to your parents. She said, no, I can't go there. And I was like, well, why? And basically what it broke down to, she was like, well, they're dysfunctional. And I don't want to take my son to that dysfunctional environment. And then when it really came down to it, I'm like, Laila, what's really the problem? Because usually a person can go home. She's like, listen, when I was younger, we were homeschooled, and my mother and my father molested us. Her words, not mine. And I don't know if it's true, because I know I'm dealing with a liar, but I took her on her word. She didn't want her son in that environment. I go online. I said, well, Laila, right here on your profile, it says you got a sister. She works at Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know if she still works there, but she works at Dunkin' Donuts. Why can't we take you over there? And she was like, I can't go over there because when I went over there, she made me and my son sleep out on the porch. I said, Laila, your own sister, knowing you homeless, made you sleep on the porch with your 1-year-old son. That's what you want me to believe. And she was like, yeah, you know what? I believe it now. After seeing her action, I believe it. See, now, so Tiffany.
First of all, I want to pause this and say, if he's supposedly friends with this person and she's missing and the baby was found roaming around an apartment complex by himself, he sure as hell doesn't seem concerned. Anybody who is, God, the whole country is concerned and we don't even know her. This is supposed to be his friend. He's sitting here laughing about it and tearing apart her character. Where is the concern? Where is the concern for her? Where is the concern for her son? There's none.
They took her around to all the homeless shelters in Muscle Shoals. One, like 2 or 3 in a couple churches. And she came back, she's like, they don't want her there. They say she's been there, she's disruptive, she's a run. Okay, I was living with this girl and we were living in Tennessee and we came back down here. I think they went to Jasper, and as it was coming back through, Laila said she went in the store. And when she came back out, the girl had left her and all her baby stuff just out there in the parking lot. And she had been stranded in Muscle Shoals since. So I said, okay, what about your parents? Can we just take you to your parents? She said, no, I can't go there. And I was like, well, why? Basically, what it broke down to, she was like, well, they're dysfunctional. And I don't want to take my son to that dysfunctional environment. And then when it really came down to it, I'm like, Laila, what's really the problem? Because usually a person can go home. She's like, listen, when I was younger, we were homeschooled. She was like, yeah, you know what? I believe it now. After seeing her action, I believe it. See, now, so Tiffany, that next day, took her around to all the homeless shelters in Muscle Shoals. One, like 2 or 3 in a couple churches. And she came back, she's like, they don't want her there. They say she's been there, she's disruptive, she's a runner, and she don't want help. They don't want to deal with her no more. And they telling us, the woman told me personally, or told Tiffany personally, that if you deal with her, this is what you're going to deal with. Cool. People say that they light workers. People say that they help us. People say that they heal us. But now, here I am with a woman with a 1-year-old baby. Let's say about this 1-year-old baby. The baby's 1 year old and he already has rotten teeth in his mouth.
There ain't no way a baby at 1 year old has rotten teeth in their mouth. My son didn't even have all of his teeth in his mouth at 1 year old for them to have rotted out yet. That's not true. I don't believe that at all. I'm going to go forward here, just a little bit further here.
Decided to stay. He's homeless. So now, let's fast forward a little bit. So now Laila wants to help put in some money, and I told her that's unnecessary, but she's used to doing what she do. So she likes to go on dating sites and just meet guys. And then when she meet them, she'll just get in the car with them and go. So I used to say, Laila, just leave your baby here with me if you're going to get in the car with these guys. And she's like, no, I'm just playing them out their money, and that's why I take my son, because I use them as a dick shield. How am I going to have sex with you when I got my son with me? So I take my son everywhere I'm going. I said, yeah, Laila, but that dangerous that you get in the car with these guys that you just met online with your child.
Now he's setting it up, right? He's setting it up because he's talking about things that she allegedly did in the past, taking her son in the car with men she didn't know. And he's prefacing that because he's trying to say she did that when she was living with him, right? Because now that's the same thing he's saying. He's saying that she and her son got in the car with 2 guys at the racetrack gas station, and that was the last time that he saw them. But we know that's not true because the FBI pulled the gas station video footage and that never happened. But he's trying to set himself up for his lie. So this is someone who's very, very, very conniving, very calculated, and very manipulative. Hence probably the 15 felonies that he's already got, right? Keep going.
She's grown and they ain't got no control over that. She's grown. Laila used to walk off and go to the store. It's about a mile to the store. And then when she come back, she'll come back in a car with some guy that she met at the store that just gave her a ride. Laila, that's dangerous. You shouldn't do that. And don't have them pulling up in my motherfucking yard either. Because I don't play that. This is the mentality of an individual that I was dealing with.
Again, he's trying to set it up to make it believable that she would have gotten in the car with 2 guys she didn't know at the racetrack gas station in Florida with her son, which we know never happened. So let's keep going.
2 months. 2 months into Laila's staying with me. She made contact with some friends from Jasper. The first guy came up there, and I was like, okay, Laila, I ain't gonna, because I don't really let people come to my house. All right, Laila, go ahead and let them come over. So the guy come over, they stay outside, they talk. Then she come back and said, one of my friends finna get ready to come pick me up. He's from Jasper, and we getting ready to go, and I'll be back in 2 or 3 days. I said, okay, Laila, I'll see you in 2 or 3 days. So the next guy.
Now again, prefacing it that she got in the car with some guy and that she'd be back in 2 to 3 days, right? Now he posted this video right after she was reported missing, so I'm thinking he's trying to say she'll come back. This is what she does. She gets in the car with guys she doesn't know, but she'll come back, right? He's trying to downplay the situation here. That's what he's trying to do.
I pull up and I don't ever even go outside, and she outside talking to him, boom, boom. I'm in my room. I go to sleep. When I get up, Laila's gone. But not only is Laila gone, a lot of my shit is gone. And she stole my cat. My cat disappeared. Mancoon, beautiful cat. Haru.
I'm gonna have to
Where are you stealing from? The only person that take your son from. And we manifested her car. And me and Laila make contact. And forgiveness is given. And here we are, we on a new journey together. I'm showing up online because here she is and she's still homeless. Living with some man that she just met. That picked her up on the way while she was walking down the street to go to work. So she said, I don't know. Here she is and she's homeless.
So apparently if she was gonna go to work, right? Where was the 2-year-old if she was homeless? That doesn't make any sense, right? It makes zero sense at all. So are we supposed to believe that she was walking to work, she's homeless, and she just left her kids somewhere, and some guy said, hey, let me give you a ride and you can come live with me? That's just stupid.
Okay, Laila. I'll go ahead. Let's go ahead. I'll teach you. So I'm showing up online and
keep forward.
And I had to rush her to the hospital.
Okay, so here he's talking about his quote-unquote apprentice or whatever the heck he called her, and he's saying that they're in Florida at this point, he and his apprentice, that they're supposed to be doing some kind of work in the Everglades with pictures or something. I don't know what he was talking about because he's kind of hard to understand, but apparently he says that his apprentice had a heart problem or something, and that she had to have a transplant and her body was rejecting the heart, so she was in the hospital. So with this, he tells Laila to come to Florida to work with him, and she says, okay, I'll come to Florida to work with you. And then he talked her into selling him her truck for $3,500. So that's where we are right now. I'm gonna keep playing here.
So now here it is, now to rush this woman to the hospital. And they won't even let me go up to see her.
Now, what I can tell you about pathological liars and narcissistic sociopathic people, and I'm not saying that he is, but I am saying that one of the things that they do is they throw a little bit of the truth in with their lies to make it believable. So here it is. Let's throw the little bit of truth in that I can't go in to see her, probably because of COVID. Now that sounds believable, doesn't it? Let's keep going.
Corona. And she was laying in the hospital dying. This same woman who I came down here and started pouring energy into and started healing and started training her to be my apprentice because she's finna assist me.
He's gonna heal
Help me
her.
Take care of my business. Help me schedule. Let me train you how to do tarot. And so now, while she's in the hospital, and now I'm not gonna leave Florida. Why am I not gonna leave Florida? Or why wouldn't I leave Florida? For 2-3 weeks, I stayed right there in Florida, and I don't even live in Florida, and hung out because I'm waiting for her to get out the hospital.
But he just said she's dying, right? She's in the hospital dying. They won't let him see her, and he stays there to wait for her to get out of the hospital. So which is it? Is she dying? Is she getting out? Can you see her or not? And he said that when he met with Laila in Florida, he gave her $3,000 in cash for her truck, and that he was supposed to give her an additional $500. Well, if you've got $3,000 in cash on you, why are you sleeping in your car? Why aren't you getting a hotel room? Just wondering.
Because she ain't from Florida, and I don't want to leave her stranded.
Trying to make himself look
Without
like a
no
good
help,
guy.
no support, or no family. I was it. I'm it. So now, here we go.
He said he sees himself as a god.
And now I'm getting ready to go down here to Key West on the beaches and go down here to the Everglades and deal with these alligators. And Christina was the person that was supposed to be helping me, but she can't because she's been in the hospital for 2-3 weeks.
What kind of dealing with alligators does some self-proclaimed witch, healer, spiritual advisor have to do? Like, what could this man possibly have to do with alligators in the Everglades? Like, seriously? God forgive me, I hope I'm wrong, but I'm thinking that he may have said that because there's a little truth in everything with these people that are crazy like this. And maybe he took her to, the Everglades. I hope that I'm wrong, but I can't help but think that when I hear him speaking.
Weeks at this time. I'm back on the phone with Leila Cavett. She said, oh, I had a car, Cavalier or something, and I traded it for a truck. I said, you traded your car for a truck? She was like, yeah, it got a couple little problems with it, but yeah. So I was like, Leila, show me the truck. And she showed me the truck, and I'm like, shit, Leila, I need a truck like that. I need a truck just like that because I'm getting ready to go down here to the Everglades and shit. I don't want to go down here in the car. I said, shit, let me buy that truck from you. I'm not selling my truck. I'm like, Leila, come on, send me the truck. Now, here's the thing, because I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Leila's supposed to be coming down to Florida at this time. She's supposed to be coming down since Christina in the hospital, and she's going to help me till Christina gets out the hospital.
Okay, so you heard right there. He said she's going to help till Christina gets out of the hospital. Again, the same Christina that's in the hospital dying. But then again, he says later that the reason Leila came to Florida was to sell him the truck. So totally contradicting himself, but I'm going to keep playing it.
So she's going to be the one holding the camera and helping me. Y'all's like, why are you getting Leila? Because she's a survivor. I'm going out here into the woods, into the Everglades. You don't take nothing but survivors with you.
You don't take nothing but survivors to the Everglades with you. Think about that statement. And if you try and read between the lines, and if you're thinking in the capacity of someone who is potentially a psychopath, maybe she didn't survive and he took her to the Everglades, right? I'm just putting it out there. I'm just saying, I'm not an expert in psychology, but I've been around long enough to be able to kind of read between the lines on these things. I've been reporting on these things for a while, but there's a very interesting thing to that statement as far as I'm concerned.
No. She says she wants the job. She says she wants to be our friend. She says she wants to finish her learning. She says, I'm going to come to Florida. I said, Leila, sell me that truck. Leila said, give me $3,500. Give me $3,500 for the truck. Now, I said, Leila, what's wrong with the truck? She's like, well, there's something wrong with the gas line and spark plugs. And I said, Leila, I'm not going to give you $3,500 for a truck that don't.
Why would a single mother drive all the way to Florida with a 2-year-old child and then just say, okay, for $3,500, you can have the form of transportation that I have to get back home? That doesn't make any sense.
Run, you got to drive that motherfucker to Florida before I even give you anything. So now, under my understanding, I'm going to say this again. Under my understanding, I thought I was the reason she was coming to Florida. So now, Leila's going to take $3,500 and stay with me. We got a truck, we got a car, and now I'm finna get her a place for her and her son, and we finna set up business. Now, you might ask yourself, why did this girl drive all the way to Florida to meet some guy? Yeah, because she knew me, and I had taken care of her and her son for a number of months. So I showed that I was able to not only support her and her son, but another woman and her son and my motherfucking self. So she knew she was going into good hands. Now, Leila says that she was coming to Florida. And just like I told the police department, when I talked to them in person, it took her 4 days to make an 8-hour trip.
Well, he did say that the truck had a whole bunch of problems, didn't he? He said that the fuel line or something was wrong with it, that it had other problems, and that he wouldn't give her money until she drove it to Florida. So if that were true, which is probably not, it would make sense that it took her longer to get there than the normal standard trip.
She was playing, and I thought she was hustling me, and I thought she was wasting my goddamn time. Same thing. I said, nope, because this is what she do.
Oh,
she lied.
Oh, what a lovely choice of words from a spiritual healer and advisor, GD.
Manipulate you, and she'll trick you. And I'm like, oh, damn, why this girl? I'm supposed to be going down here to Key West and then the Everglades, and you wasting my time, Laila.
Again,
I'm finna go. I ain't got time for this.
What is with the Everglades? Like, he never once said, other than dealing with these alligators, what he had to do in the Everglades. He never once said what his business was there. He is a self-proclaimed witch and spiritual healer, or whatever he calls himself. So what in the world is he doing with alligators? Handling them? I mean, come on. I want to know what he actually was doing in the Everglades. I'm sure that FBI and law enforcement are already all over this and tracking, cameras along his route to see, what he did and where he went. But, we don't know that information yet. But I really want to know what the hell he was doing in the Everglades.
Oh, this is the messages that I showed the police department. 4 days. 5 hours away. Then she go back, no, I'm 8 hours, I'm 6 hours away. No, I'm 2. I showed this to the police. I just want y'all to see the inconsistency of what she's telling me. An 8-hour trip took her 4 days. So I don't know what she was doing in Florida during those 4 days. But as I showed the police department, this is what time she showed up to me. And this is where we were standing. And this is where the camera was at when she got here.
What camera?
When she pulled up at Racetrack, which is right a couple lots over from Walmart. We pulled right over there to Walmart. Right over there, where her truck would park at. Yeah, let's talk about it. And then she got out her truck. Did I get out too? I think I got out. Did we hug? I don't know. She got in the car with me. Boom, and we pulled off, just like I told the police department. We went to Pollo Tropical in Fort Lauderdale. About her and her son, a feast.
No.
And then we went right out here to Fort Lauderdale Park. Park Beach. And we ate.
No video footage of that, by the way. Now, I'm going to skip forward really a lot here because, like I said, it's an hour long. But what he claims is that he was ripped off, that after she sold him the truck for $3,000, she didn't come back, and the paperwork wasn't in the truck, and all this and that and the other thing. Now, I'm calling BS on this whole stupid story anyway, because if you have somebody who already stole from you, why would you give them $3,000 in cash unless you had the title in hand to that truck? Come on. Does he really expect people to believe this garbage? It's just stupid now. Anyhow, I'm going to keep playing a little bit further down the line here.
But she loved that boy. And so now,
let me go back a bit.
So I keep asking officer, is the truck stolen? Because I'm telling you who I bought it from. I'm telling you how much I gave them. And I feel like she done played me because the fucking paperwork ain't in the car. So what the fuck can I do with it?
Now, we found out later that he tried to sell that truck to someone else for $1,000 the day after that he allegedly bought it, and it didn't have a title and it had no paperwork and she was missing. He was trying to sell the truck for $1,000. Why would you pay $3,000 for a truck and then try and sell it for $1,000? You wouldn't do that. So I'm thinking that he may have done something sinister here, taken her truck, stolen her truck to sell it for money, or something along those lines. But I'm going to keep playing his video.
She was like, no, the truck's not stolen. I talked to like 4 officers. I ain't even going all that. I talked to like 4 officers right there in the parking lot of Walmart. And all 4 of them questioned me thoroughly. And now when I'm over here, see these 2 women officers, they pull up. Or detectives. And I already know 2 women officers, you can kind of feel the vibe. So, oh Lord, this. Whew. And so now they start asking me questions, but their line of questioning is different from the men that was questioning. Their line of questions are more so, what kind of mother was Laila? She's a good mother.
Laila. You heard that? What kind of mother was Laila? Not what kind of mother is Laila? No, he said, what kind of mother was Laila? And I would almost bet my life that the female officers or detectives or whoever they are did not use the past tense when they were asking him that question.
Would she ever abandon? No, she would never abandon her son. I can tell you that right fucking now. She loved that boy too much. She might not have been the best mother, but she loved that boy. And so now, here it is, and I go to telling them what kind of mother that she is. They're not asking about Laila being missing. They're not asking about none of that shit. They just want to know what type of mother she was and da-da-da-da. And that's what I go through all that with.
Was.
Now, I said, officer, y'all can search my car. Oh, no, we don't need to search. I said, no, y'all can search it. Hey, like shit. Y'all can search it. Y'all got me pulled over here. And I'm telling you that I was the last person to see her.
Telling you I was the last person to see her, but at the same time, he's saying that two guys at a racetrack gas station were the last two that were with her. So wouldn't they be the last two that saw her? Just saying.
Now, here we are, and we standing out here, and the woman police officer, I can't remember her name, y'all, but she knows she was on. This is what makes me feel kind of funny about the whole situation. So now, I give the woman my phone. I tell her, you can go through it. Here go me and Laila conversation. Here go every conversation. She said, I need to take pictures of it with my phone. Go ahead.
So how do I even know that he didn't have Laila's phone and that he was texting himself back and forth to make it look like she was texting him? I'm just curious, because I don't think her phone was found. How do we know he didn't have her phone? Seriously,
Do you know why I assume Laila was coming to Florida to see me. No, I don't. But I assume she was coming to see me. Now, here it is. And after the woman read my text message and kind of understood the story of me being fucked out of $3,000 and a fucking truck, she says, I want you to write a message for me. I'm like, what you want me to say? She said, have you contacted Laila at all? I said, no, I ain't messaged yet because I know what she do. I figured she'll come back, but no, I ain't messaging her. I want you to message her and say to her, Laila, you fucked me again. I'm tired of this shit. I don't want the truck. You can have it. I'm sticking the keys up under the seat. And you can just come get the truck when you want it. And then the officer told me, we want you to do that because we're hoping she'll come back to the truck. It made sense at the time. We're hoping she'll come back to the truck and think that she can make some extra money by reselling the truck again. So now I'm really starting to get just like, man, this goddamn truck, this truck got to be stolen. It got to be. Now, let me tell y'all something. I don't know nothing about Laila being missing at this time because I don't watch fucking TV. I don't know nothing about no baby being found in Myanmar because I don't watch fucking TV.
However, he just said that the officers asked him if she would abandon her child. So clearly he knew something was going on. I mean, what did he think was going on? Anyhow, I'm not going to go ahead and play his whole video because it is an hour long. But again, he was very vocal in his video saying that Laila got in a car with two men outside of the racetrack gas station in Hollywood. But FBI says that surveillance photos of her does not show that. Now, they also have a video footage of his car, of Shanon Ryan's car, outside the apartment complex where her 2-year-old son Camden was found roaming around in a diaper by himself. And they said that his car is extremely noticeable because it's a gold Lexus and it doesn't have a front bumper. And only a few minutes after that, he was back in the racetrack gas station because they have him on surveillance video there. So it definitely seems as though he is the one who dropped that boy off. And when we talk about the fact that he bought these large garbage bags and a shovel and duct tape and carpet odor stuff, it's just not looking good. Again, this guy has 15 felonies. He's been in prison a handful of times, and he is a career criminal. And these people, that's what they do. They twist the truth. They put a little bit of the truth in there with a lie because they try and make things believable. But he's obviously not that bright because the FBI and law enforcement that are working this case have all of this video footage and everything that they have collected so far to prove that his entire story is a lie. But we're hoping that we find, that law enforcement finds this young mother. And our prayers are with the family, but unfortunately, it's not looking promising. And I hope that FBI and law enforcement does go and check I hate to say this, the Everglades. I don't even know if if they would find anything at that point. But make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, Crime 411. Our Facebook is also Crime 411. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Our website is crime411.org, and we will see you soon.